Reserve Bank Governor Philip Lowe could speak about Australia's declining productivity growth today when he gives his last speech as leader of the central bank. Joining me now is our business reporter, Edward Boyd. Ed, productivity growth in Australia fell 2% in the June quarter. It is lagging badly. What might Philip Lowe say about this?
This has been a favourite topic of his basically for the last 12 months as we've seen the productivity growth statistics come through each quarter getting almost worse and worse most times. So the recent quarter down 2%. There was a negative 3% quarter about a year ago, which was particularly bad as well. So productivity growth has not been improving in Australia. Philip Lowe has spoken about it numerous times and he hasn't given too many solutions, but he says it's a sort of economic-wide responsibility. It needs to come from both government and from the private sector together, need to work together to become more efficient at work, to be able to get more work done. So this is an issue I expect him to speak about today. Also expect him to talk about yesterday's GDP numbers where we actually entered a per capita recession for the first time since the pandemic. So 2 negative quarters of per capita GDP growth. And that's calculated, Laura, by getting Australia's GDP and dividing it by our population, because we know population growth was up almost 2% last year, which is a very big increase when you look at other economies around the world. And that has put us into a per capita recession because of our strong population.
I imagine he'll also reflect on his 43-year career at the RBA. We all know what he said about interest rates not going up to 2024, and then they did. But on reflection, if we do that as well, he's done pretty well.
Look, you look at his achievements and he has actually done a pretty good job over the past 7 years as Governor of the Reserve Bank. I think one of the things he would be most proud of is Australia's unemployment rate. For the last couple of years has been around the 3.5% mark, which is roughly the lowest level since the end of 1974. So a lot of people in Australia have been employed for the past few years at almost record low levels of unemployment. So that's a big positive for Governor Lowe and his achievements. The other thing is the inflation target that the Reserve Bank has. Inflation should be between 2 to 3%. That's their mandate. It hasn't always been around that level, but it has been pretty close to that target over the 7 years that he was governor. Obviously, it has got a bit out of control recently, but it is starting to come back down. So Governor Lowe does have some good achievements and expect him to talk about those today as well.
Ed, thanks so much. And we will have full coverage, of course, at 1 p.m. Philip Lowe giving his final speech as RBA Governor.